your friend in the corner there, Kevvy?
No.
Yes, Kevvy Mental.
Hello, my friend. How are you? It's been a year. Yeah, I took a year off from this podcast. I'm sorry. Sorry to, betray and reject and abandon you. It's just that comedy here often, it's taken a lot of my time, that podcast, and I realized from stepping away from this one that I miss it. I like doing Barely About Music. Has nothing to do with any other thing I do. I just like to do it. Hence today's episode. This is a very old interview that I did with Insane Clown Posse, and I thought that I lost the audio. But I found it because I'm throwing a bunch of my stuff out because Marie Kondo. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Marie Kondoing my life. And sometimes when you're throwing things out, you find something that you didn't know you still had, like an old, rare Insane Clown Posse interview where you're listening. Dude, listen to how fucking nervous I am at the beginning. I'm like making weird jokes. My voice is all high-pitched. That's how I dealt with that. But they're really cool. I have received Christmas cards from them in the past. I did recently watch the Shockumentary, and I did recently get 2 Insane Clown Posse t-shirts. I really liked them when I was younger. Like, it's funny because I had snobby, taste in music, but then I also liked stuff like that was fun, Like, I really liked, and I've seen them like 6 times. Their shows are so fun. Everyone's really friendly and positive. There's no snobbiness. I think that's why I like it. There's nothing snobby about juggalos or juggalo culture. In fact, I think most people who are really into it, that's what's appealing is that they can go there and be comfortable and make new friends. I love it. I really do love the culture. Just got back to Vancouver from LA. Caught a little COVID out there. That was great. You feel like a disgusting freak, by the way, when you get it. Like, that's the worst symptom, I'd say. Like, sure, I couldn't taste anything for a few weeks or smell anything. But I will say that the stigma surrounding it is the worst symptom. But I'm back. Happy to be back. Getting on with the projects. New Fake Shark record in the works. And I'm excited to get together with those guys again and with my comedy team. Anyway, without further fucking ado, my friends, Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope.
Hello.
Hi, is this Kevin?
This is Kevin.
Hi, how are you? This is Andy.
How you doing, Andy?
Great, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Cool. I've got Violent J right here.
All right.
Out. So here he is.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Hey.
Hey, Violent J, how you doing, man?
Good, how you doing?
Good, man. Were you guys just shooting something?
Yeah. We're shooting a new infomercial.
An infomercial?
Yeah, for our releases for autumn.
Oh, yeah. Is it for your new film that's out, or is it like new music?
Well, it's just covering all the releases that we have coming out in the next couple months, and the tours going out in the next couple months.
Oh, cool, man. Who are you going on tour with?
Well, we're going out on tour. Twisted's going out on tour.
Excellent.
Blaze is going out on tour.
Right.
We got a couple different tours going out.
Oh, man. Where's it going? Where's it spanning? Where's it going across?
Oh, it's mostly the U.S.,
Oh, yeah.
We're barred from Canada,
Why? What happened?
Well, we can't get in because of our criminal record.
Oh.
And it's just it's a very stale thing in our life because we very badly want to come. You know what I mean?
I know, man. I had tickets to see you when I was 15.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. You were supposed to come with Cold Chamber and Biohazard, and you never made it.
Yeah, that's what sucks.
I was a sad little juggalo. Still kind of am.
Damn. Well, we'll get there eventually, man.
All right, man. You've quite possibly the most ravenous fan base of any act around. How did you do it?
Oh man. first of all, it was never our plans or our intentions, you know?
Right.
Our intentions were to make it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Titles, but we never knew we'd have the coolest fan base in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? That happened from a lot of super good luck and magic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was never in our plans. Like before it happened, we never planned on having the most awesome fan base in the world. We were just fortunate enough that it happened that way.
Yeah. Did you find that the whole business with Disney and all that, and them pulling a record, affected that?
Yeah, sure. You know, everything affected it in some way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just being outcast of the music industry. You know, affected it every little bit. You know, Juggalos came aboard different times, different times, different circumstances. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, would you, I mean, it's arguable, but I would say that you were probably the biggest underground band in the world. I mean, you guys played Woodstock with virtually no video or radio play.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the shit.
Yeah, that is the shit.
That's so fresh. Man, yeah, that's a fresh-ass statement.
That you're the biggest underground band in the world?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Okay, well, outside of the Juggalo world, do you care how you're perceived? Are you affected by haters?
You know, sometimes, you know what I mean? You know, it's easy to say, fuck them, we don't care, but sometimes it's stunning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes when we do something that I think is so cool, and it gets so hated, that it really makes me, sometimes I question, like, man, you know, like I thought that was cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it turns out I was so wrong about it, you know what I mean? It's just amazing on that aspect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's surprising, you know?
I guess with the internet now, it's a double-edged sword because everybody gets a say and it's anonymous, but at the same time, because of that, anybody can kind of do their thing and have their art seen.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. You know, the internet. It's bad for the strong and it's good for the weak.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because everybody gets a say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. You know what I mean? It could be, you know, it could be the president typing something or a 13-year-old kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the words are just as big. Yeah. Just as predominant, I guess. Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about you or your fans?
Well, things that I've heard over the years that we're racist.
Right. Of course you're not.
Just asinine shit people say to try to hurt us. Yeah. And things like that. You know. Also, the biggest misconception is that we make $10 million a year. Huge misconception.
Do you really want to fight that misconception?
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, part of it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's cool that people believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not a bad thing, you know. But in a sense, I feel like, you know, like I say, who the fuck wouldn't be a wicked clown for $10 million? You know what I mean?
The Coldplay guys would do it.
If people knew how little money we make, I think people would be more. I don't know what they'd be more of, but it just, you know, I mean, it just, of course, anybody would paint their face and say what we say and do what we do for $10 million a year.
Right.
You know, and if they knew how little money, I think it would show that we have more passion for what we do, you know, because there isn't $10 million a year or even a tenth of that, you know.
Do you think the reason that you don't make as much money as people think is because your productions are always so huge?
Absolutely, because we push everything to the limit.
Right.
Everything, you know, if there's money left over, we spend it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if it's something small like confetti guns.
Yeah.
Or new costumes for the clowns, you know? Each time there's extra money, we put it to the product, you know? And that goes for other things. That goes for our releases.
Right.
That goes for like the packaging and our CDs and all of that. We push everything to make it the best product as possible.
Right.
You know, so it appeals the most to collectors.
Right.
And, you know, things like that. You know what I mean? We just push it to the max, man.
I guess you got to do things like that to actually get people to buy CDs nowadays and make the packaging interesting.
Yeah, you gotta put something in there that's not downloadable, you know what
like
I mean?
Some 3D glasses with the bizarre release.
Right, you know what I mean? Something cool like that makes more interesting to buy that CD, because we come from a generation where CDs were the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Popping that cellophane and smelling that. You know what I mean? That was awesome. And nowadays, people that are 20 years old were born and raised on downloading songs. You know what I mean?
I know. They don't even know the concept of an album.
Yeah, which is okay. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound like an old man saying, "Oh, everything sucks today and it was better when I was a kid."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying it's better. Of course, it's probably the argument is it's better to be able to download a song, you know what I mean, or an album.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we just try to make our CDs flavorful, so that there's shit in there and hidden contents and
right.
And a lot of fans like to read things like special thanks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We always try to have a lot of that in there and everything.
Well, that's how, like, my generation, because I'm a little bit older than those kids that just download now, that's how I'd find new music and see what they thanked.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It tells you a lot about the band, too.
Totally. Yeah.
But we still believe in that old school flavor of that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, who would you thank in a new record? Like, who would you give props to? Who do you want young kids to check out now?
Man, our favorites are the, sometimes, man, I forget how much time has gone by. Like, some of these artists that we look up to are mad old.
Like who?
Like Paris.
Yeah.
Above the Law.
Yeah.
NWA.
Yeah.
The Ghetto Boys. Scarface. These guys have been around since the early 90s, you know what I mean?
Dude, do you remember the Judgment Night soundtrack?
Fuck yeah. With
fucking
all
amazing.
the bands mixed with rap. Yeah, that was
it was Biohazard and Onyx.
Pearl Jam. Yeah. I got Biohazard and Onyx.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Ice-T and Slayer.
Yeah.
That's a shit right there. Ice-T, he participates in the Gathering a couple years now, right?
Yeah. Yep. He sure does. He's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I did a song with him, man. It's awesome.
Did you? When?
It's called Dead End.
Okay.
And it's about these guys in prison that are getting executed.
Yeah.
And each rapper is a prisoner about to be executed.
Oh.
One guy's about to be executed by a firing squad. Another guy's executed by hanging. Another guy's executed. What was the other one? I can't remember. It's an awesome song. Really cool song we did. We did it about 10 years ago.
Oh, man. I don't know how I missed that one. I'm sorry.
It's out there somewhere.
Okay. All right, man. Back in '97, you released the track "What Is a Juggalo?" On your Great Malenko album.
Right.
You define juggalos in a lot of different ways. How would you define one today?
Same way,
Yeah.
The only way you can really define a juggalo is there is no real definition of a juggalo. That's what makes them so crazy, so amazing. It's because they're not typical to each other.
Right.
Each one of them has a different background.
Right.
Everything. We've met juggalos of all walks of life, and I mean that. Not even a majority of them are the same. I believe there is no real definition of a juggalo. The actual only solid thing that brings them all together is magic, man.
That's right.
There's something in the lyrics, there's something in the music that people pick up on, some kind of radar or some kind of message, something in there that somebody hears and they just know whether or not it's for them,
Well, I think for a lot of people it's an amount of quality, and you can tell that you put in the effort to make it something special.
Hey, that could be. That sounds cool. Yeah, and then also, it might be the certain way we phrase something.
Yeah.
Certain way we say something that make appear as uneducated and stupid to some people, but other people, they get what we're saying and they totally read what we're saying, and they know that we wouldn't have said that unless we were something similar to them.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of kids relate to bands in a diehard fashion, which your fans are, because they can relate to them. Like, a lot of kids got down with Nirvana because they could identify with his lyrics, whereas you guys tend to talk about the Dark Carnival and things like that. So why do you think so many kids are so diehard?
I think it's the other stuff. Yeah. I think it's just rapping about, instead of having things, rapping about not having things.
Right.
And I think we appreciate things that real people appreciate. Not superstar Hollywood style. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just in our lyrics, rapping about everyday things and like
homies.
Yeah. If we could explain explain it, you know, if we could figure it out, I guess other people would be able to figure it out, and they'd be doing the same thing.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's just really, I believe, and I really believe this, and I don't care if it sounds corny, I believe there's a lot of genuine, real magic behind it all, man, that brings everybody together. Yeah, because if it was something that a college professor could easily pinpoint in one essay, this is why Juggalos are who they are, and this is why they're attracted to the music.
Yeah.
I think other bands would apply the same thing, and they'd have the same thing going for them.
It's true. If it was an equation, everyone would do it.
Yeah, if it was that easy to be figured out and explained, I think other people would be copying it and doing it.
Right.
But I don't think it can be explained. I think it's a lot of genuine unknown to the whole thing.
Right.
I know it's definitely unknown to us. We don't have it pinpointed because some of the things we release don't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the things we put out don't catch on. And
Really?
Oh, yeah, man.
The fan base is so rabid. I thought they'd pick up everything.
No, man. Some things we do totally has no effect. You know what I mean? People aren't into, you know. And then there's other bands that aren't Psychopathic Records related that also have huge Juggalo followings.
Really?
Yeah, like Oddmouth Kings, like Tech Nine, you know.
Yeah.
For some reason, Juggalos rally behind them, you know.
Yeah.
And those guys are totally different from us. But there's something there in that music that's drawing them to it, and I think that's the magic of it.
How did Gallagher and Tom Green do on the Gathering of the Juggalos?
Awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was so shocked to see that they were on there.
Yeah, they both did great. That's the other thing, man. If we had Juggalos totally pegged, we'd put the lineup exactly what they want, but sometimes we're wrong, man.
Yeah.
We didn't have a clue how Tom Green was going to I knew his comedy was odd, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we didn't have a clue how that was going to work, man. He might have got it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he turned it out. He somehow went up there and aced it, you know? And then we also thought Tequila would work. Here you got this chick who's obviously an internet sensation because she's hot or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's up there singing song. Her song was called I Want to Fuck the DJ. and we just figured Juggalos would like that. We figured Juggalos would like seeing the hot chick up there singing about fucking the DJ or rapping about fucking the DJ. We just thought it would work, you know?
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know, we don't, you know, we also thought the Yin Yang Twins would go over well, and they didn't go over at all.
The Whisper song didn't work.
And it's just like, yeah, it didn't work. And this is shit, that's what I'm saying. Every year we try to figure it out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We try to book a lineup we think is going to turn it out, and sometimes one or two artists might get it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The shows, we don't have a clue what the fuck we're doing either, you know?
Yeah, it's weird that Method Man and Redman didn't work out.
Well, it did work out. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It worked out one dickhead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One asshole threw something and hit Meth in the face, man. One kid, you know, you can't let... He got so upset about it that it sounds like the show went bad, but in reality, despite the fact that they were up there addressing the crowd as Illinois, when actually they're from all over the place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fans are from everywhere at the gathering, not from Illinois, and they kept addressing Illinois, and I even talked to Meth about this.
Yeah.
They appeared like they didn't know where they were or what they were playing.
Really?
Yeah, and they still got love. I'm saying anybody else that goes up there and says Illinois and doesn't address the Juggalos as Juggalos once during the show, they would get it.
Yeah.
People had so much respect for Method Man and Redman that they were tolerating it all. And one asshole, man, one kid, you know, threw something, hit Meth in the face, got a perfect shot and hit him in the face, you know, but it wasn't like they got bombed off stage. One kid hit him, and then that was even halfway through the show. They continued the show.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they finished it. And they didn't know where they were. They didn't know what they were playing. I don't know if they didn't know or they didn't care.
Yeah.
Or they didn't ask, but they didn't know, you know, and Juggalos were so into them regardless that they let all that slide, man.
Yeah.
They let it slide that they were calling them Illinois and they never addressed them as Juggalos. So it's just that he got so mad about it that it made a lot of noise.
Oh, I see.
Man.
I was going to say, I mean, the Gathering of the Juggalos is a huge festival every year, and a lot of people know that it's big, but they don't really know what the crowd's going to be like. Do you think most artists that get invited know what they're in for?
Let's see. I'd say most do, but a good deal of them don't.
Really?
Yeah, and me and Shaggy, we try to go around and talk to people before they go on. Usually, we try to go around and have a word with them if we think they might not do so hot unless we talk to them.
Right.
We'll go in and we'll say this is we'll go into their trailer or whatever, and we'll explain to them what it is, and that they're gonna say whoop whoop, and that means they're loving you and they're giving you love, and they're gonna chant family if you're doing real good and they love it.
Right.
And just tell them about all the unusual things they'll hear from the crowd, But then we just said fuck it, and we started sending. We have a documentary out called A Family Underground.
Yep, seen that.
Yeah, which is about the gathering.
Yeah.
But we started sending that to everybody that we booked.
Right.
Hoping that at least their agent or somebody in their camp would watch it and tell them.
Right.
So that's what we did with Meth and Red, and that's what we did with everybody else. And when Method Man and Red Man took the stage, we were in our thing painting up, and we just didn't have a chance to go tell them what was up. But like last year, not last year, but the year before, when Ice Cube played, we made sure that we went in there and told Ice Cube what was going on and everything. And he went out there and killed it.
Yeah.
He slayed them, man, like a professional. Just took everything we said, him and Dub C, and they applied it to the show.
Yeah.
And it just went murderous, man. It was great.
Well, he's faced some pretty strange crowds having toured with Korn and stuff too. So I guess he knows what he's in for.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that your kids will carry on the Juggalo tradition?
It's up to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now we're doing things just as fun,
Yeah.
But no, it's totally up to them. I can't say whether or not they will. I don't know.
They come out on stage with you sometimes, though, right?
Sometimes, yeah. My daughter doesn't want to, but my son does.
Well, it must be terrifying for a little kid.
Not for my son JJ.
He's into it?
Yeah. The first time I ever brought him on stage, he was on the side. My girlfriend was holding him on the side of the stage.
Yeah.
It was the first time he'd ever seen our show or anything.
Yeah.
And he was crying throughout the show.
Oh.
And I thought, oh man, this is terrible. It's scaring the hell out of the clowns, the Fago. It's got to be scaring him,
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, he came running out there, and he got on my shoulder and started throwing Fago. And it turned out he was crying because he wanted to get out there. And his mom wouldn't let him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see that, once he gets to school and stuff, we'll see if he still wants to do anything like that. But if he wanted to, hell yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So the Gathering of the Juggalos has become one of the largest festivals for music in the world. Do you find that because of this, mainstream America is more willing to embrace you?
No, I don't think mainstream America's embracing us at all.
Really?
No, I mean they're making fun of us.
Really?
They're not embracing us. Like in what way would you say they're embracing us?
Well, I just feel like corporations don't give a fuck about anything but making money. So I figured that at least be trying to send some money your way for endorsements and things like that.
Never been offered anything in our lives.
Not even from Fago?
Not even from Fago. We've came at them several times.
What's their problem, do you think?
Well, they say that they're a family product and they're not made for throwing on people.
Right.
And they don't want to fuck with us because of the language and our music and the way we use Fago. Their official statement, something like our product is made to be drank and not thrown on the audience and all this other shit. They're just not down with it. They're a family product.
Right.
And maybe one day when the president passes away or something and a young guy gets in there or something, he might be more open to it, Who knows? Maybe someday, life's long, man,
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll come around one day and we can get a clown cola or something.
You got to get Barack Obama to become a Juggalo, I think.
Yeah. He might be. Nobody knows.
Who knows, man? He's a Public Enemy fan.
That's the one thing about Juggalos, man. You never know who's a Juggalo and where they are. You know what I'm saying? There's Hollywood directors that are Juggalos.
Like who?
I don't know. But they've called us in that movie Be Cool. The director of that movie, everybody was in that movie. John Travolta.
Yeah.
That director called us and said he's a juggalo.
Wow.
He asked us to send a bunch of stuff.
Sick.
He did. He placed it in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, he placed a big cardboard cutout of me and Shaggy in the movie.
Wow.
He placed a bunch of our albums, like covers on the background and the walls and everything.
That's awesome.
You know, and then there's another movie coming out, a Ben Stiller movie, which isn't out yet, but the main character in it is wearing an ICP T-shirt.
Oh.
Same story. The director told us he was a juggalo.
Wow.
So you never know. And then, like, sometimes at sitcoms and stuff, they might mention the name. It's happened before, like in probably 4 or 5 different sitcoms, where the writers would be juggalos and throw our name in there or something. You know what I mean? You never know, man. It's like a secret society.
What is the strangest thing a fan has ever given to you?
Given to me? Oh, man, some crazy shit.
Like some pretty morbid shit?
Yeah, like one time a satanic Bible.
Okay.
Some kind of weird satanic Bible. I was like, man, I don't want that. I ain't signing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just weird things.
Yeah.
People somehow get the idea that you're into something crazy.
Right.
But nothing comes to mind that really stands out
Right.
that I can think of.
Okay. You've helped a lot of rappers who were once quite famous find fame again via the gatherings, such as Coolio and Spice One and Tone Loc. How come you're helping resurrect their careers? Are you just fans of those artists?
Because I don't believe in fads, and I don't believe in styles.
Right.
We really don't believe in that. We believe that if somebody was fresh once, they're fresh.
That's right.
Forever, you know what I'm saying? Just because they're not the coolest thing of the month. That's what pop radio and the pop world does. We don't look at it like that. You know? To us, if somebody put it down one time and had a bomb-ass record, that's still their record forever. You know? And you know, and we believe that. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just something sweet about. I don't know, man. It's just. First of all, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
For noticing that.
Of course.
Because, we try to do that. You know what I mean? And we do that also with wrestlers.
Yeah.
A lot of wrestlers who maybe have had their best day, we'll bring them back and school it. You know.
Yeah.
But that's just because we believe in the underdogs, man.
Yeah.
And sometimes when somebody's been on top of the world, and then there's nowhere else to go but down.
Yeah.
Other people just ignore them and laugh at them, and even though it was them that's buying all that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Vanilla Ice, for example. It's funny how the world laughs at Vanilla Ice, but it was the world that was buying all that shit.
Exactly.
You know, and now they laugh at him. They need to be laughing at themselves, you know?
He has a Juggalo fan base, doesn't he?
Hell yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I think it's because they know what he's done and where he's been and how he was played and how everybody laughs at him now, even though it was the same people that put him up on that pedestal.
That's
you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, it's just, you know, for us, there's no fads, there's no time limits on somebody's success or popularity. We just keep it cool. And besides, man, what's liver than when you got, you know, I don't know how many people are at any given stage, but let's say you got 4,000 juggalos at the second stage at 4 in the morning, and all of a sudden, you know, Tone Loc comes out and does this shit. Believe me, it's hype. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just as hype as having today's hit there. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's exciting to see them up there doing that shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's really them, and it's just fun, man. I think people won't like them when they're current, but when they become the underdog, then juggalos, I think, are more likely to accept them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you pay much attention to popular culture? Like what videos and singles are big right now?
I try to. I try to.
What do you think of the state of hip hop right now? Do you think it's worse or better than it's been?
Well, I think with the risk of sounding like an old man again, I think it was better back in the day because there was so much more variety.
Yeah.
You know, like you had, the variety was insane
I know.
back in the day, man. And today, it's like everybody seems to be on a more similar page, you know?
Yeah.
But there's some definite dope shit, man. It's like sometimes the guy one song you could hear and you can understand why he's famous because he's got so much swagger and so much flavor behind the delivery, you know? But I don't find it as versatile as it once was. I think it's all sort of on the same page now, and people are really scared to be different, man.
Totally. There's way less experimentation.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think, like, grave diggers would happen nowadays? It doesn't seem like it would, really. Although, maybe it would on Psychopathic, though, eh?
It could happen again. You know what I mean? People could get tired of what's going on and start really stepping out of the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? I think it could happen. But, you know, our perception of what the mainstream is definitely warped.
Yeah.
We don't have a clue, you know, because everything we try is looked at so different, you know. I don't know, you know. But there's some definite dope shit out there. Like, I'm not just hating on everything that's coming out today. Some of it I really like, you know.
Yeah.
But like the MTV Music Awards, you know, like when Taylor Swift was singing that song to Kanye West, like that was just fucking ridiculous. Stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was so fucking dumb. I felt like throwing up, man. She wrote a fucking song and is singing it to him because he ran on stage during her award acceptance. Like, that's the lamest shit I ever fucking seen in my life, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all subject to sit there and watch that, you know, her singing a song to Kanye. It was just so stupid. Like, that was some traumatic, horrible thing that happened in her life. It was like she was molested. You know what I mean? I'm sure he ran up there drunk during her award. It must have been so traumatizing for her, you know? A year later, we all have to sit and listen to her sing a song to a grown-ass man about how he's still acceptable, you know what I mean? He's still okay. He's one of the innocents. You know, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck MTV for putting this on. Fuck everybody involved for us sitting here having to watch this bullshit as they take nothing and try to make it something. You know what I mean? It's pathetic, man.
That's because they don't know what to do. It looked staged, I thought.
It was so sad and sappy to me. I was just like, oh, God. You know, there's so many other artists that could have took that slide. You know what I mean?
I know.
And brung the house down, but instead we sit and listen to that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's the shit that I'm like, you know, one minute I'm like, okay, you know, I can dig it.
Yeah.
The next minute I feel like puking, man, and that's the shit that makes me want to puke, man.
What kind of music do your kids like?
They like Kids Bop.
Oh, yeah. The covers? The cover songs?
Yeah, you know, that's my way of staying with what's current. Because they're on, like, Kids Bop 18 now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they take all the singles from, like, 6 months earlier, and they redo them, so, you know, and you know, and some stuff I think is just fresh, like, I like Beyonce.
Yeah, man.
And some stuff I just think is awesome, you know, even though it's mainstream, I'm not against it. I used to bump the Spice Girls.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, I'm not against everything. You know, we're not, like, totally, like, fuck everything on the radio, you know.
But fuck the world.
Yeah, you know, and because of shit like that Taylor Swift, that's the type of shit that's, oh, God.
Right. I was listening to some old episodes of you on Loveline.
Yeah.
It's great, man. You're so funny on there.
Yeah, we have fun on there, man.
But you were talking about how you used to suffer from some pretty severe panic attacks.
Yeah.
Does that still happen?
Yeah.
That's rough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the biggest nightmare of my life.
Yeah, because that first one that you have, you don't know what's going on.
Right, I didn't know what was going on for a while, man. Even when you're in the doctor's office and you're feeling so good because she's explaining what it is and how it's not
abnormal.
Yeah, and it's a medical condition that can be treated.
Right.
So you feel like, okay, I can beat this. The minute one starts happening, all that shit goes out the window.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're back to where you were that first day.
Right.
Because fear is fear, man. And when your brain unleashes that chemical into your body, that fear, I don't care what you've learned in panic attack school. Once you're feeling fear, everything sucks. You know what I mean? And that's you can feel totally sure of yourself and that you're gonna be able to defeat this, but the minute that shit starts happening and you can't breathe, it's just you again.
Yeah.
Everybody else looking at you like, what are you tripping about, you know?
Yeah. Because they can't relate because they don't even know.
I wouldn't wish that shit, and I mean this, I wouldn't wish that shit on my worst enemy, man.
Yeah. My next question is, and this is a little bit of a direction change, but who is the toughest foe you ever faced in the wrestling ring?
Oh, man. Shaggy one time got an ass beat by this team called the Headbangers.
I remember them, didn't they? They're like kind of gothy, kind of like...
Yes, ball heads, and and they wore I think they wore kilts or something.
I thought you were teamed up with them at one point.
We did this deal where we were on the other team, and we were with the Oddities, and they were going against the Headbangers. Right. We kept telling WWF, we were like, we want to be bad guys, you know?
Yeah.
And so they did a deal where first we were against the Headbangers, then we sold out our team and joined the Headbangers.
Oh, okay.
But we were backstage telling everybody, oh, we're wrestlers, we can handle it, you know, just put us in the ring with them, we got it, you know.
Yeah.
So this one day in Lansing, Michigan, they said, all right, we're going to do this deal where the Headbangers call you guys to the ring, and you guys run out there, and then they beat your ass. And we were like, all right, cool, you know, and we had been wrestlers. We were wrestlers.
Yeah, but all your rappers, right?
Yeah. So we figured, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they beat the shit out of us, man. They beat the shit out of us. I mean, a suplex, a body slam, a fucking body slam never hurt so bad in my life.
Wow.
And they fucking wrapped those chairs around our heads, man. I mean, they beat the shit out of us, man. So the next week, we were supposed to do this deal where we're running to the ring, and they jump out of the ring, and they meet us in the ramp, and we kind of fight back to the back.
Right.
It was supposed to be like 50-50. We get some licks in, they get some licks in.
Mm-hmm.
But when we ran out there, they were kicking our ass for real again, you know? So we started fighting back for real.
Uh-oh.
And we were fighting, you know? We were fighting, man. We were everything we had, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we're in the backstage area, and me and Shaggy are looking at each other like, holy shit, you know? We got into a real fight, you know? And the headhunters come back in, how was that, guys? And we're like, cool, man. So we were really like, fuck y'all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was pretty wild. But that was the worst we ever got beat up.
Yeah. Wow, man.
In the ring, yeah.
So
those guys aren't no big stars or no big, you know. I wish we had like, oh, it was the Road Warriors or something.
Yeah.
It was them. They beat our ass.
Did you see the movie The Wrestler?
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
We went and saw it with Scott Hall.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
With Razor Ramon. He was just like, I don't know, man. After the movie, he was just real quiet.
It hit home.
Yeah. Not like it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like it hit home, and he was just thinking about his life or something else.
Oh.
But he was real. He's a real talkative, funny, fun guy.
Really?
But after we saw that, he was quiet all the way home, man.
Man, did you know that Mickey Rourke did the movie for free because they had no budget, really?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he really took like the fucking staples in his chest and the cuts and everything. That was all real.
Well, he did a good job because you know what? That was a smart move on his behalf because look what it did for his career.
I know, man.
Fuck, man. So it's actually smart to do that movie for no money.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to ask about Big Money Rustlers, because that's just come out in August, right?
Yeah.
So you released Big Money Hustlers in 2000, and then on that episode of Loveline I was telling you about, you were saying that you guys had already done a script for the sequel, but it took 10 years. How come it took so long?
Well, because, you know, when we did that first one, we were with Island Def Jam at the time.
Right.
And they didn't really know how to promote us. And we were selling like crazy, but they didn't, you know, videos weren't getting any play anywhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they didn't really know what to do, so we suggested a movie back then.
Right.
And that's how we did it. You know, we did it with their help. We did it with their money.
Really?
Yeah, and when we did it again, we knew, when it came time to do another one, we knew that we wanted to make it better than the first one.
Right.
You know, we had to step it up production-wise and everything, you know?
Yeah.
So it took that long for us to build our company up to the point where we could do that.
Right.
We could spend all that money on a movie, and we had the know-how, and we knew the directors and the people and everything, and it just, you know, it took a while to actually be able to afford it, man. That's what it was. We just had to wait till we had the money that we could do that, because, you know, that's just expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. And you always manage to get interesting guests into your films. Like this time it's Jason Mewes and Ron Jeremy, and last time it was like the Misfits and Harlan Williams. What's that process like? Are they usually typically friends of yours already?
No, we just kind of, it's just see who knows who and how much money people want. We just go after them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, just thinking, coming up with Ron Jeremy, you know, that would be funny. He seems like somebody that would be in our budget, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to get cameos in there. And then when they show up, it's usually the first time we ever met them, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's always interesting to see a familiar face, even if it's only for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And that was our thinking. You know, we didn't have a lot of money to get big names in there,
right.
but you know, any familiar face is always cool. You know,
right.
And then if we make friends with them later on, they can come to the gathering and all that, and all the Juggalos can meet them and everything. So that's fun. You know.
Yeah.
And that was our thinking. You know, so we got a lot of little cameos. And what was fun was during the shooting of it, it seemed like every day somebody would be there.
Yeah.
You know, one day J.J. Walker's there. You know, Jimmy Walker, and we're hanging out with him all day. And the next day, you know, Todd Bridges is we're hanging out with him all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what made this shoot really cool, was all the different people coming in for a day.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you think Juggalo culture will be represented in the history books? Do you think it'll be around for a long time and kind of like be next to grunge and all that kind of thing?
I don't really know. I know it'll be around for a long time. That I know.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be around forever. I don't know if it'll get any bigger,
right,
or anything like that. I think it'll you know, I don't know, man. That's another thing that waits to be seen.
Right.
Look at all the stuff that's happened in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, all the exposure and all the exciting things that are going on with the Juggalo world. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's pretty fucking exciting.
Yeah.
There's really no telling where it's gonna go or how many people are gonna know what the word Juggalo is.
Right.
In the future. So yeah, I think that's a mystery.
Yeah.
Just know that it'll be around forever. But it may grow to become a household word, you know?
It seems like it's gotten bigger now than it ever has. I mean, the gathering should be a good indication. I mean, it's been around for, 11 years now?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. It's a 4-day festival for...
And you know, you go to the gathering, this is the interesting thing, you go to the gathering or you go to any of the concerts, and it seems like most of the people in the crowd are like from 17 to 25, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's always been like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we stay the same age, but the Juggalos are always young, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's cool because even the people that are brand new Juggalos today, they're going to grow up and have those memories.
Right.
And Juggalos, some Juggalos end up landing in important positions.
Right.
Like, look at you, you're a writer. You said yourself you were a Juggalo.
Yeah.
You know, and now here you are doing a story about ICP.
That's right.
That's awesome.
I know, man. I never knew it would happen.
Yeah, and Juggalos that are Juggalos one day just on the streets growing up, they land in these positions of power. And, you know, that's why I say it's going to last forever, because even if somebody outgrows it,
yeah,
it's still they had those 2 or 3 or maybe 4 years,
yeah,
where they had a good time being a Juggalo. And that's all that matters to us, you know,
right,
is that they have a good time and they rack up some good memories.
Yeah.
And so there's no telling what the future holds, man. There really is no telling.
Right. All right, man. Well, I got one last question for you.
Okay.
There's been apparently on your latest on the gathering and on your latest tour, there's been guys scientists traveling around outside your shows explaining how magnets work. What do you think of that?
I think that's fucked up. And listen, if it wasn't illegal, I'd straight up beat their ass.
Yeah.
No, straight up. Even if it is illegal, I don't care about that. But I don't want to go to jail.
Right.
But I'd straight up beat their ass. Fuck yeah. Who are they fucking with? What is that? That's supposed to be funny?
I know.
You know, what does that mean? We know how the fuck magnets work. Like, what is that? What are you doing out there insulting our fans for like that? You know what I mean? That's like cause to get beat, man.
And it's like not a good bunch of people to be fucking with, really.
What does that mean, man? And the song is so innocent, too.
Yeah.
The song is so innocent. What it's saying is just to appreciate everyday things in our life, man, that sometimes get lost in the shuffle. You don't stop to smell the roses, you know?
Right.
Like, look at some of these things that we get to see every day, these amazing miracles, man.
Yeah.
And not the kind of miracles that are religious miracles, but just miracles miracles, like how many grains of sand are on a beach, you know?
Right.
All that shit. And the song is so innocent. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the song is by Juggalos for Juggalos.
Right.
You know, that's why it's soft. You know, sometimes when we're talking to Juggalos, it's like talking to your best friend. You know, not everything you say is going to be violent and wicked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you've done soft songs before.
Our whole career.
Yeah.
And so when people are out there like teaching Juggalos how magnets work, man, that's cause to get stomped, man.
Yeah.
Like seriously, man. And I'll fucking handle that somehow.
That's right.
I don't know what I'll do, but you know what? Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's straight up really pushing it, man. Like, I'd rather see somebody out there with a cross trying to get people to find God. You know what I mean?
Have you experienced that?
Oh, yeah. That doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? But somebody, like, straight picking on Juggalos, it's like, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How did Juggalos respond to it?
I don't know. You know, I don't know. I know if I was a Juggalo, I'd probably smack them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never been out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, I just heard they were out there, you know?
That's right.
And, you know, if I were Juggalos, I'd handle that.
That's right.
Because that's, like, real disrespectful, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks so much for talking to me.
Hey, thank you, brother.
I gotta say, man, it's a relief that you're such a fucking cool guy, too.
Thank you.
And,
did you want to talk to Shaggy, or do you got it?
Shaggy's there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll say hi to Shaggy.
Okay, here he is, brother.
All right.
Again, man.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right. Hello?
Shaggy.
Hey, what's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
Real good, man.
Dude, I'm really sorry. I didn't know you were there. I talked to Jay for like 40 minutes.
Oh, that's all good, man. We were just doing our thing up here anyway, so it's all good.
Okay, you weren't waiting around?
Nah.
Cool. You guys were just shooting something?
Yeah, we're shooting some shit for the internet.
Oh, cool. Like to promote some new releases.
Yeah, just we always do this shit, you know, it changes up and whatnot. You know, we put out called the Weekly Freakly Weekly, and switched up from like, you know what I'm saying, me and Jay like doing like sit down news, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, different people doing it, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, a new episode of that.
Right. I'll ask you a couple of the questions that I asked Jay. I asked him what he thinks of the state of hip hop today. What do you think of the state of hip hop today?
Man, I don't know, man.
Do you think it's worse or better than it was?
Well, I think it's better. It's making more noise than it used to back in the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's so mainstream and pop now.
Yeah.
And a lot of this shit is, I mean, like the way I look at it, you know, is pop music's pop music. Whether it's country, whether it's R&B, whether it's rap, whether it's rock, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Pop is pop. That's it. You know what I'm saying? When you put it on the radio and you hear, even if you don't like this song, you hear it so many times a day, you know the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like pop music to me, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's actually cool that somehow, you know, rap has made it so far that it's just considered normal pop music.
It's true. It's really infiltrated just American culture at this point.
Oh, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody back in the day was like, oh, it ain't going to last. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, it's transformed a lot. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and I like some of the shit going on now. You know, like I like Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He used to be a prison guard, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're a pop music star, you know what I'm saying? It's like, who gives a shit what you did? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, I like, and then there's this other guy, J. Cole, I think is a shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be listening to the radio, and I have to turn it off sometimes because, you know what I'm saying, some shit I just don't like, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'll be listening to a certain song come on, I'll switch the station.
Yeah.
That same fucking song's on that station, I just hit the off button. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think of auto-tune?
I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? I used to think like anybody could do auto-tune and make it sound sweet, but that's really not true, you know what I'm saying? You still gotta have some skill behind it.
Yeah, I think T-Pain's a good example of that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He would sound good without it, you know what I'm saying? He just blew it up. But like, you know, back in the day, rap was a lot different. I think I liked it back in the day more.
Yeah.
And just because, like, you could hear something and know where somebody was from.
Right, yeah.
You would hear something like Public Enemy or like,
You knew it was East Coast.
Or something. they'd be like, that's a New York motherfucker all day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As opposed, you know, you hear some like West Coast shit where it's just like, you know, just thicker bass lines, not so much about the drums, but the bass lines and the keyboards and shit. You know, that's some straight up West Coast shit. Or you know, you hear just some heavy 808 type shit with mad snares and hi-hats going off, you know, so you know that's some down south booty shit.
That's right, yeah.
You know, and nowadays it's like everybody works with each other so much, you know what I'm saying, that unless they're like in repping where they're from, you know what I'm saying, you really wouldn't have a clue, you know what I'm saying? Like, about that J. Cole guy, I know Jay-Z put him on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I had no idea he was from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
It doesn't sound like it, does he?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Exactly. So it just goes to show, I figure that's due to the internet in large part too, you know, because I mean, anybody can make a song now and throw it up on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, and it's just like back in the day, you would have to like, you know, you would like get into somebody and know about like where they're from because they would rep it so hard, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Chuck D was saying that, I mean, I don't know if this applies now because of what you're saying is true, but he was saying that back in the day, you could kind of tell where someone was from because if they're from a really scary part of town, it actually had pretty relaxed sounding music, and all the angry music was coming out of the suburbs. Would you agree with that?
Not really, not at all. No. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Well, then again, I was about to say, you know, NWA was pretty fucking angry.
That's true.
Compton, but if you really look at it, Compton is a suburb of LA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think maybe he meant like the G-funk shit. You know what I mean? It's pretty relaxed.
Yeah, the beats were more laid back, but what they're saying wasn't.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Talking about shooting motherfuckers or smoking weed, shit like that. You know, that's not too relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess smoking weed is, but I don't smoke weed, no. You know what I'm saying?
You don't smoke weed?
No, I never got into this shit.
Never ever?
No. When I was a kid, I did a few times, you know, so just not my thing. I don't like being high from weed, you know?
Just Fago?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, I really appreciate talking to you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time.
No doubt, man. You take it easy, man.
All right. You have a good day.
All right, man.
See ya.
And that's it, man. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Insane Clown Posse from 9 years ago or whenever that was. And thank you for listening. Thanks for sticking with me all this time. Thank you to the people who told me that they missed this podcast. And this goes out to you guys. Okay? All right? Forgive me. Have I done enough to make this nothing but water under the bridge my abs since I'm back? I will talk to you soon.